Good morning, guys. Today we're looking at angle addition postulate. It's not a super intense one, but it involves a little bit of algebra work. First off, real quick explanation, it's homecoming week, so that's why I've got my West Coast Ninja Turtles and Hawaiian shirt. Angle addition postulate is pretty simple. It says basically if there's a middle point somewhere in between an angle, so if D is interior of ABC, then I can say that our first angle, I'm going to say angle ABD, plus my other angle, for this one, DBC, will then equal the entire angle, angle ABC. Okay? Again, makes sense. These two parts added together equal the whole. It's very similar to our segment addition postulate that we did our last unit. If you add the two parts together, it equals the whole thing. Same thing, just dealing with angles. Okay? So how will we use this? I got 3 examples for you today. This is the first one. So they're going to give you usually a good amount of information. Okay? They'll give you something about the 3 different parts that we're dealing with. Again, 2 parts in a whole is normally what you're going to have. This one they tell you if, again, the M stands for measure, if the measure of angle DBC, so DBC is our angle over here, is 74, and the angle of ABC, so the entire thing, is 119, find ABD. So I'm trying to figure out what this is over here. Okay? My normal setup, and the same thing for our segment addition, is we usually have the 2 parts add together equal the whole. They gave me the whole angle here of ABC is equal to 19, so I can say it's equal to 119. The 2 parts I have my angle ABD that I don't know, plus 74. For this, as you kind of go through this then, you could then subtract 74 to get your answer. So when I subtract 74 from both sides, I get angle ABD, which is what we're looking for, is equal to 45. Again, make sure you're putting your degree marks on those. Let you know that's my final answer. Okay? So they tell me here, find angle ABD. We did. 45 degrees works. You can always double check. 74 plus 45 needs to equal that 119 they said is the total. Okay? So that's just the real quick one. This is kind of a more basic one that gave you all numbers. You'll deal with some equations, which is where we're going to take our little field trip over here to the other side of the board. And this is where we're going to see the problems that have a little bit more involved, deal with some equations as well. Okay? Again, first thing I want to do is try to go through and mark whatever I can on the actual picture. Okay? So up here I have DEF is a straight angle. Basic comment, what it's talking about is a straight angle says 180 degrees. So I know this whole thing is going to equal 180 degrees. So here at the bottom, that's actually one of my questions is what is angle DEF? The measure of angle DEF. DEF is my straight angle, so I know it's 180. Because of right here saying straight angle. Okay? The rest of what I can fill in, DEG, so DEG is right here, that's 23x minus 3. Then I have GEF is 12x plus 8. So I know these 2 parts and I know the whole thing. So I take my 2 parts equal to the whole. We just said the whole thing is 180. The 2 parts are right here. It's pretty easy visually to see these are the 2 angles. So I would add my 2 angles together. Combine your like terms. So 23 and 12 will get me 35. Negative 3 and 8 get me 5. I'll subtract my 5 from both sides, which give me 175. And then when I actually divide those 2 out, we end up getting x equals 5. That is one of the things they asked me to find, so make sure you put that off to the side. Again, double check that you're answering everything, okay? So they ask you to go back and check what angle DEG is and what the measure of angle GEF is. When you do that, you'll go back and plug them directly into the problem. So DEG, I would plug in and get, so DEG is 23 times 5 minus 3. When you do that, you would get 115 minus 3 is 112. So I get angle DEG is 112 degrees. Again, we're dealing in the realm of degrees, so I know that's set up. Two ways you could go from here. You could either say, well, Mr. Schultz, I know that this is 180 degrees, so if this is 112, I could do 180 minus 112. Or you could then again plug it into the other problem, 12 times 5 plus 8, and see what you get. For this one, you would get 68. Okay? Your quick check again is if I add these two together, it should equal the whole, which is 180, and it does. Okay? So, these are kind of your, again, basic setups. You'll get a whole bunch of different versions of these, but this is the kind of core of our angle addition postulate. Okay? Mark what you can first. Part plus part equals the whole. For this one, give us JKM is 43. So I can put 43 right over here. They give us MKL is 8x minus 20. And they tell us the whole thing, JKL, is 10x minus 11. So again, I'm always going to put the whole thing over by itself. And the two parts add together. So the two parts were 43 and the 8x minus 20. When I combine my like terms, I get 8x plus 23 equals 10x minus 11. When I get my x's on one side, if I subtract the 8 over, I get 2x. If I add the 11, I would have 34. So when I divide, we get x equals 17. Okay, that is one of the things they asked me to fill in, so I filled it in. They may not always ask you to fill in this piece. That's okay. You'll just then plug it in for whatever they asked you for. Here they asked us for MKL, so I could go in and plug in, making sure I can still see that. We would plug it back into MKL, so it'd be 8 times 17 minus 20, right on the edge over here. When I do that, 8 times 17 minus 20, that gets me 116. So I can put 116 in for my answer. Ooh, that looks like a 6 instead. Then for my other piece, they asked me what is the entire thing, JKL. Again, I could say, well, if this is 116 and this is 43, I can just add those two together. Or you can plug it in. Either way, you should get the same result. So if I plug in my 17 minus 11, when I do that, I should get 159. Again, this should make sense at the end. JKL was the entire thing, so it should be a larger number than one of the parts. Okay? So for this, this kind of setup, or angle addition postulate, this is kind of what we worked with today, is just understanding that we are adding the two parts, put it equal to the whole, and then make sure you're plugging things back into the correct spot. Okay? Hopefully this helps out a little bit. Let me know if you got any questions. Otherwise, hope to see you guys real soon.